Good afternoon. It's me, Larry, and I'm coming to you live from Stevie's room on this very rainy Miami afternoon. Today's topic is addressing feral cat ignorance. Um, Let me first start out by saying that I watched an interview from another city that I just found it astounding that somebody will stand in front of a camera and spout such complete ignorance. But these talking points come up over and over again. So I want to address them. They come up on message boards. They come up, as comments on various news stories, and it's the same tune, different person. So let's address them. I hope I get them all. Number one, feral cats are a public health nuisance. So, deep breath. I suppose they would want to have no feral cats and have their city overrun by rats, which is what would eventually happen. But be that as it may, let's discuss some of the illnesses they bring up. They bring up rabies, which has not been a documented case of human rabies in decades. Toxoplasmosis, which is extremely rare. It's testable, it's treatable. And it mainly affects pregnant women who clean litter boxes. They bring up these aha, gotcha kind of moments, when in reality, these are the most rare, marginalized illnesses. And mind you, we just came out of a pandemic. We have viruses that we transmit to each other that cause illness and death far greater than cats do. I mean, it's not just, AIDS, SARS, bird flu, the whole COVID debacle. I mean, we really are more of a health risk to each other than cats. But that cat hater will make sure to bring up that one instance or that one illness that they read somewhere to use it as their talking point when they really don't have a leg to stand on. They don't. They just cite this out of ignorance. They don't put the statistics. The statistics actually go against them. The second point they make is, I just don't want them here. Well, first off, the person can deter cats from their property humanely and legally without any real problem. All it takes is a little water sprinkler to send the cat in another direction, or an unfavorable environment like a rock garden so the cat doesn't want to sit there. They can screen in their property. It's not like they have more of a risk with wild birds that fly overhead. So I mean, they really don't have a leg to stand on here. The third point. But we're being overrun by them. They just keep breeding and multiplying, and there's just so many. Well, it really should be a community effort to neuter, spay, vaccinate. The chronic complainer will always exist. They just bellyache, but don't become any part of the solution. And it shouldn't be that one person in the neighborhood or those two people that actually do something to deal with the population by neutering them and vaccinating them. In the old days, the whole catch and kill that used to be the policy of some cities, what they found is that favorable environment would bring another cat. It's known as the vacuum effect, if you'd like to look it up, and it's not just with cats. They've studied it with wildlife too. You really want to create an environment where those cats that are there will chase other cats out of the territory. So those are the cats that you have. Let's make it so that they don't multiply, and it will become their territory. And other cats they'll move on to another territory and get those neutered and vaccinated. And these cats will live their lives out as adults. I am actually watching a feral colony that once had a lot of cats slowly and sadly um, dissolve because some have been hit by cars and some have passed away on their own by aging. They lived a long life and had natural illnesses like cancer, but since they were all neutered and vaccinated, they lived their lives out, and there's now much less of them. And it has to be 100% of the colony to really work. It takes work, and that's how it should be. Um, Starvation should never be an option. It really upsets me. But beyond upset, it's just cruel and wrong. But they don't care. They just assume they've never held a kitten in their hand that died because of human neglect. And they would actually turn to you and say, good, let's get mama too. So don't try to reason with their compassion. Just look at them with their ignorance. And if you have to debate their points, you now have some answers. Another one is cats kill migratory birds and affect wildlife. They quote this Smithsonian article that was done in Maryland with 40 cats. Mind you, it was funded by the Audubon Society, and this is the staple thing of the Cat Haters Bible. They see the word Smithsonian and they think that, it's got to be, official. Truth is, this was a paid for advertisement by the Audubon Society, as far as I'm concerned. And a 40 cat study is not expanding the rest of this. And they couldn't even prove some of the things within the study. There were flaws. And the bottom line is humans kill more birds and cats than they will ever do to each other. That is the bottom line. The whole thing is flawed and should be thrown out the window. And no, a cat shouldn't arrive in a place. A migratory bird, should not arrive in a place and be greeted by 80 cats. But that's a human problem that was created by not neutering those cats. That was a big debate that I once got into with 3 Australians. In Australia, they have a field. There's only 2 places in the world where cats can live off the land itself. One is Galapagos Island, the other is this field in Australia. And according to the Australian government, since it's an isolated territory, they want to kill them all. It's like 5,000 of them. And the Australians have been taught this line of, we're not cat haters. We're just environmentally friendly and want to protect our ecosystem. Bullshit. Really. I told them point blank, if you kill every single cat in that little area that you want, if you succeed at doing this thing that your government is brainwashing you to buy into, you know what's going to happen? Someone's going to bring home a cute little kitten, and when it scratches little Johnny, they're going to put it right in that field, and the whole thing will start over again, because that's how it started in the first place. Point number 4, little Johnny. But what about the children? What about the children? My daughter got scratched by a cat, and now I'm worried that she's going to get infected. I'm not kidding. The children, always the children. George Carlin, I'm going to quote him. You've turned them into little cult objects and think that everybody is all wrapped up. To be honest with you, the children handle cats better than the adults. I have actually seen adults turn to their child when the child says, "Mommy, there's a cat over there." You're allergic. They're already being brainwashed to not like them when there was never a reason to. They don't even know if they're allergic or not. They never even been around a cat to find out. But the mother doesn't want one because the mother is already a pre-programmed cat hater. They will turn to you and try to look at every single. They will say, "But this is a business. It's a medical building. It's a school. It's an office building. We don't need cats jumping on cars and walking in the street. And then if somebody comes here to visit and they poop. And first off, cats cover their poop. Okay, it's not like dogs. And I'm going to tell you that oftentimes the biggest cat hater is often a dog person. Okay, just by observation, anecdotally, not statistically, but cats cover their poop. They're pretty clean about it. And yes, it might be an office building or a medical building or a school or whatever it is that you think it should be. But the bottom line is you don't have this tantrum over birds, and you don't have this tantrum over, actually they do have tantrums over lizards and iguanas. They kill those too. But I don't want to divert into wildlife. The ignorant person usually has the philosophy of kill it, problem solved. Um, Instead of the fact that if they kill it, they've created a vacuum effect. That environment is a favorable environment, and a new animal will come and take its place. Look it up. It's been studied with cats. It's been studied with wildlife. That's why Catch and Kill was abandoned in favor of TNR. So with that in mind, I think I've covered them all. Be safe, be well. At least you know some answers when some of these imbeciles come up to you and spout their ignorance. And no, I have no sympathy for them. I really don't like when someone talks out of their own ignorant hatred. They don't really care about wildlife. They don't really care about half the things they talk about. They just don't want you there or the cat there, or they just don't. They want everything gone and have it their way, and they're not going to get it. And let me point out one other thing: you have support. There are more people that love the cats and more cities that have adopted trap, neuter, return programs than those that have not. And it is well funded too. Major companies like Chewy and Petco, they're all supportive of TNR. So they're dealing with a lot of pushback and there is a politics to this. Usually the business owners complain to the politicians don't know what to do, and they're torn between two worlds. But starvation is never an option. It's up to a politician to find the answer that's right, where the cat hater learns ways of addressing this, becomes more educated, and realizes that they're not going to have a cat-free society. No matter how much they scream or hold their breath or make funny faces, it's just not going to happen. That's the way it is. Of course, they could, well, actually, they missed the deadline. There were applications to go to Mars. That ended in 2024. There are no cats there yet. So, on that note, be safe, be well, and thanks for listening.